How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. This video is going to be, well, vastly different than anything else I've ever put out on my channel regarding my van life. I guess you could lump it into the more informative side of videos that I do. Now that I've been in the van for as long as I have been, I do feel like I have the confidence to chime in on certain things. That being said, obviously, I am not telling anybody what to do or how they should live their life. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. Do your due diligence. Make the right choice that is right for you. Just know that at the end of the day, you and you alone are responsible for your decisions and any sort of consequences that they might bring. I hope that that is a painfully obvious statement, but obviously, if I thought it was that obvious, I wouldn't feel the need to make this video. And this is a topic that I've been seeing sort of crop up in my comments a lot more lately now that the channel has started to grow and more people are being introduced to the community and have started joining it. And that is the topic of pets in the van. And surprisingly enough, this has nothing to do with my two little fur babies, but everything to do with dogs in a van. And now you might be wondering, well, Matt, how can you even begin to chime in on anything like that? You don't have a dog. You are completely correct. I don't have a dog. But there is a situation that has slowly been developing over the last week or so. And if you've been paying attention over the course of my last few videos, you know that I've got a very close friend in Amber, and she has a dog and she lives in her van with her dog. And up until this point, honestly, it had been pretty good with the odd up and down here and there. But I mean, I have up and downs as well with cats. But the reason why I feel like I need to be talking about this, and for anybody wondering, Amber and I have spoken. She is aware that I'm doing this video. It's sort of a joint effort here. I'm just doing my best to put into words what needs to be said. Regarding living in vans with animals, I honestly think when it comes to dogs, at least medium-sized or larger younger dogs, you better be prepared if you are considering doing van life to have a fully online job so that you can work from your van. And then you better have Starlink so you can have unlimited internet and in a city hub so that you can do that job. These are, in my opinion, complete necessities if you're going to put yourself into that situation. Now, why do I say this? Again, it should be obvious, but man, this world we live in sometimes, it's not. But sometimes you got to learn as well, right? Dogs require a lot of maintenance, care, compassion. They come with a lot of responsibilities. They got to be out there. If they're a high energy dog, they got to be getting walked and run every day, and they like space to move around. And so if you are someone who is traveling in like, let's say, a warm climate year round, and you are always in your van and you can have the doors open and be outside majority of the day, more power to you. You should look into that situation. You might find yourself very happy. The harsh reality is that's not the situation most people are going to find themselves in. And I see people in my comment section saying, oh, I like your friend so much. Her and her dog really make me believe that I could do van life with my dog. So because that's happening on my videos, I feel a certain sense of responsibility to address that. It's a very unique situation wherein obviously I am a very, I guess, productive person when it comes to making my videos, whereas Amber is fairly new. The inside joke right now is she never puts out videos, although she does. She's just slow because she's not at the same level of me in terms of pushing content out. So you're not keeping up to date with everything going on in her life. You just see brief glimpses behind the curtain of her interacting with me and me interacting with her dog River, and everything seems on the up and up, right? It's not my responsibility to show the bad stuff going on in her life, right? That's her responsibility. But again, see the reasons why you might not be seeing those issues quite yet. But because we are so ingrained with our van life channels and our friendship and that crossover happening, I now have to speak on this subject, because I don't want anybody getting the wrong assumptions thinking that it's going to be easy. No, the reality is, quite simply, if you're going to be living in a van, 99% of the time you're going to need a job. And more often than not, that job is probably going to be taking you out of your van for at least 8 hours a day. And, you know, best case scenario, you could come out and check on your dog at lunch or coffee break if you get it, depending. Now, I understand that there are multiple jobs you could do. You could do night shift, you could do this, you could do that. But it doesn't matter, because if you're away from your van and if you're not in the perfect weather climate, you're going to run into issues. So you need to carefully consider the situation that you're going to be putting yourself in and the animal in, and really think things through, because you could find yourself in a situation that my friend Amber currently finds herself in. And over the course of the last week, we are in Canada, it's winter time, and last week, on one of the coldest days, her battery died, which means her heater stopped working, which means her van slowly dropped in temperature throughout the day. River was in the van. She kept going out and running it while she could. It was a very stressful day for her. Obviously a very stressful day for the dog. But that really brought to the forefront, hey, this shit's real, right? And I'm not saying by any stretch of the imagination that Amber was living in a world of denial about that, right? But we've had conversations at length about why she got River. When she first moved into the van, she felt like she needed to get a dog for protection, which is funny if you know River. But still, I understand the thinking behind that. Single young girl living in a van wants some protection. Okay, I understand your reasoning why. And at the time, she had nothing but free time. Like a lot of us, she was on employment insurance. She was between jobs. She was in her van all day. It was spring, summer, fall months, no problem. No issues there. Very easy to get outside. And to her credit, she always put River first when she got to the point where she had to start looking for jobs. The first job she tried to get, well, I guess technically a second job, but she tried to become a dog walker, which would have worked out great. But that's a very hard market to crack into if you want to make any sort of actual money, which brings me back to the whole idea of you're going to need a job that pays, because unless you are completely 100% debt free, or I guess maybe financially free, how do you say that? I don't know. Well off enough that you're just flush with money, you don't need to work, right? You're going to be finding yourself in a job that's going to take you away from the animal. Again, it's you can cool your vehicle, you can go out and spend time with your animal, but at the end of the day, eventually it's going to happen, and your little house of cards is going to come crumbling down. I'm getting kind of off track with all of this, but it's important for me to convey to you all that are watching my videos to really think it through before you make the decision to completely change your life first, and then also the life of the animal. Like I said at the top, they require a lot of responsibility, a lot more maintenance than cats. I've got 2 old cats. That's easy peasy. But you better have your ducks in a row. So nobody worry, River is fine, except that now the situation has slowly gotten worse. River got ill. She started to destroy the van. She's defecating in the van. Obviously, Amber is very, very frustrated. She's beside herself. She didn't know she knew what she had to do. She knows what the right decision is, and that's where she's at, and we will come back to that. But that is the reality of living in a van with a dog of that size and that nature. Plus, she's young. And it's not fair to you all to not share that information with you. It's been a very heartbreaking situation for Amber to deal with. Like I said, she is beside herself, yet she is still on the right path of course correcting. And it's a very sad path, as any animal owner will ever tell you. Having to make the decision to get rid of an animal is not an easy one to make. That's another reason why you should probably reconsider stuff like that. That brings me to my last point of this video. For those that might be interested, and there's no assumption on this at all. Like I said, Amber is doing the responsible thing, and she has an appointment with the Humane Society for next Monday, which is December 19th, to find River a better home through that channel. However, if there is anybody locally in the Calgary area or fairly close to the Calgary area that wants to consider adopting River and would like to meet us, get the chance to meet River and potentially adopt her as your own and help out a van dweller, that would be awesome. Like I said, there's no expectations there, but if you are interested, send me an email at vanlifepluscontact@gmail.com. It's obviously going to have to be quite quick. It's a bit time sensitive because this is not a situation that can continue. But yeah, if you've got time this week or this upcoming weekend and you want to get together and meet her, we would be more than willing to discuss that and see what we can come up with. It's not going to be easy, but very rarely are things in life, right? And that's the whole point of this video, is that when it comes to situations like that, you guys got to be smart and you got to understand the reality of the world that you live in, that we all live in. It's hard for me to have to, like, you know, it's not hard for me, but I feel bad for Amber because, you know, she's my friend. I wish I could do more, but I live in a van as well. And I do not think the cats would get along with River very well at all. And that wouldn't be a solution anyway, obviously. But yeah, I'm just doing this to help out a very good friend who is in, I will say, dire straits at this point. It is a very, very frustrating situation. So do not put yourself into that situation without considering every single possibility of what could and probably will go wrong, and be prepared to handle it, or guys, just don't do it. I'm going to leave this one here. I was yapping at you enough. Thank you for watching. Until the next one, you guys, just go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourselves. Most importantly, be positive, and I'll see you all in the next one.